Back in 1996, something strange happened in Hollywood. A spy movie based on an old TV show quietly turned into one of the most important action films ever made. Today, when people think of Mission Impossible, they picture Tom Cruise running, the vault scene, and the iconic theme song blasting in the background. But behind the movie that launched one of the biggest action franchises ever are secrets that stayed buried for decades. We're talking about dangerous stunts Tom Cruise actually did himself, Hollywood stars who almost played Ethan Hunt, a marketing disaster involving Apple, and a hidden phone number that still exists in real life. Even the movie itself was a gamble. It's only natural that we dive into 21 secrets hidden in Mission Impossible, and fans still have no idea about them. Let's start with the man, the legend, Tom Cruise. Number 1. Tom Cruise turned a 60s TV show into a blockbuster movie. Believe it or not, the Mission Impossible movie almost never existed. The original Mission Impossible was a TV show that aired in the late 1960s. It had its fans, but by the 1990s, it wasn't exactly the first thing Hollywood producers were looking to reboot. That's where Tom Cruise came in. He had just started building his own production company and was looking for a project that could become something bigger than just one film. So he helped develop the entire movie from scratch, turning a vintage television series into a blockbuster franchise that would eventually span decades. It was actually his very first project as a producer, and that decision leads directly to our next secret. Number 2. Tom Cruise risked his own money and made $70 million. Most actors take a large paycheck up front when they sign on to a movie. Tom Cruise did the opposite. Instead of demanding a huge salary, Cruise made a risky business move. He agreed to take very little money up front, but negotiated something far more powerful, a percentage of the movie's profits. At the time, that was a gamble. Nobody knew if a reboot of a 60s spy show would actually work. Initially, he was paid about $12 million. But once Mission Impossible hit theaters, Cruise reportedly walked away with around $70 million from the first movie alone. Not bad for a risk. Once production started, Cruise didn't just bet money. He also put his body on the line. Number 3. The legendary CIA vault scene almost didn't work. We all remember the CIA vault scene. Ethan Hunt dangling from the ceiling, completely silent, inches away from the floor. One wrong move and the alarm goes off. It's one of the most iconic moments in action movie history. But filming it turned out to be harder than anyone expected. During early takes, Tom Cruise kept losing balance and hitting the floor with his head. The stunt required him to stay perfectly level in midair, which is a lot harder than it looks. Eventually, Cruise came up with a clever solution. He placed coins inside his shoes to act as tiny counterweights. The extra balance helped him stay steady enough to pull off the shot. And just like that, one of the most famous scenes in movie history finally worked. But that stunt was just the beginning for Cruise. Number 4. Tom Cruise really escaped a 16-ton water explosion. One of the film's most chaotic moments happens during the restaurant sequence, when a massive fish tank suddenly explodes. Glass shatters, water floods the room. Ethan Hunt runs for his life as the wave crashes toward him. That stunt was originally meant for a stunt double. Director Brian Dealma tried filming it with a double first, but something about it didn't look convincing on camera. So Tom Cruise volunteered as tribute. When you watch the scene, that's actually Cruise running away from a real wall of water, created using around 16 tons of water crashing through the set. The chaos of that explosion was just a warm-up compared to the movie's biggest action set piece. Number 5. The train finale took 6 weeks to film for just 7 minutes. The climactic high-speed train sequence near the end of the movie feels intense and fast, but making it took a lot longer than you might expect. First, the entire sequence, including the helicopter chase, the fight on the train roof, and the tunnel explosion took about 6 weeks to shoot, all for 7 minutes of screen time. The scene required 152 separate shots with different stunt setups, miniatures, and special effects used to create the illusion of a train racing through Europe. It became one of the most memorable finales of the 90s, but filming the train sequence was crazier than the time it took. Number 6. 140-mile-per-hour wind machine nearly beat Tom Cruise. During the train sequence, there's a moment where Ethan Hunt is clinging to the roof as the train races through a tunnel. To make the scene look realistic, the filmmakers needed to recreate the effect of extreme wind blasting across the train. So they searched across Europe until they found the only wind machine powerful enough for the job. It blasted air at 140 miles per hour. And yes, Tom Cruise stood right in front of it. The force of the wind actually made his skin sore and swollen. But Cruise reportedly still had to perform about 4 times, even though he was black and blue. While the actors were battling extreme stunts, another problem was brewing behind the scenes. Number 7. The movie started filming without a finished script. This might sound unbelievable today, but Mission Impossible actually started filming before the script was finished. Director Brian Dealma had a clear vision for the action scenes and the spy atmosphere, but the actual story connecting those moments was still being written. That meant writers were constantly adjusting the script as production moved forward. Now, speaking of writers, Number 8. Mission Impossible burned through screenwriters. During production, the movie cycled through multiple screenwriters. Different writers came in to refine the story, adjust the dialogue, and try to make the complex spy plot easier to follow. Steven Zaillian, Robert Towne, and David Coeb, just to name a few. In the end, the final script became a combination of several creative voices, which might explain why the film feels different from most modern action movies. But at least Cruise knew what he wanted in a director. Number 9. Tom Cruise personally chose director Brian Dealma. Since Tom Cruise was also producing the film, he had a lot of influence over who would direct it, and the choice he made was interesting. Instead of hiring a typical action director, Cruise picked Dealma, a filmmaker known for stylish thrillers like Scarface and The Untouchables. The two met through Spielberg over dinner. Cruise went home, binged Dealma's movies, and convinced the director to take on Mission Impossible. That's the story. But before filming even began, there was still one big question. Who was going to play Ethan Hunt? Number 10. Half of Hollywood almost played Ethan Hunt. Today, it's impossible to imagine anyone else as Ethan Hunt. But before Tom Cruise officially took the role, several major actors were considered. George Clooney, Bruce Willis, John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, Ralph Fiennes, and even Mel Gibson. Eventually, Cruise had to step into the role himself, and the rest is history. Ethan Hunts weren't the only shoes Hollywood icons tried to fill. Number 11. 2 major actresses turned down lead roles. During the casting process, the film's producers approached several well-known actresses for key roles. Claire Phelps was first offered to the French star Juliette Binoche. She declined because she wasn't interested in appearing in a major Hollywood blockbuster at the time. Another actress, Genevieve Bujold, was also considered before the filmmakers ultimately cast Emmanuelle Béat, whose mysterious performance became a key part of the film's story. Casting the heroes and allies was tricky, but the filmmakers were also making big changes to the villains. Number 12. Max was originally written as a man. According to production trivia about early script drafts, Max the arms dealer was originally written as a male villain, but Tom Cruise suggested hiring actress Vanessa Redgrave. Nothing else in the script was changed, just the gender. Instead of a typical crime boss, Redgrave gave audiences a villain who felt sophisticated, mysterious, and unpredictable. Now, the villains weren't the only thing the movie changed. Number 13. The film quietly rewrote the rules for Ethan Hunt. One interesting detail about the first Mission Impossible is how Ethan Hunt operates. In the entire movie, he never fires a gun. Hunt relies on deception and disguises to outsmart his enemies. By the end of the film, the body count is just 7, a surprisingly low number for a spy thriller with multiple explosions, stunts, and assassinations. Even though Ethan broke spy rules, he still needed a mentor from the 60s. But he could only get one. Number 14. Only one character from the original TV show returned. Fans of the original TV series might have noticed that very few characters from the original show appeared in the movie. Originally, there were plans for members of the team. They were going to be characters and actors from the show, but they were going to be killed off right in the beginning. They did not like that, so only Jim Phelps, played by Jon Voight, returns. Phelps acted as Ethan's mentor, the experienced strategist who gives the IMF team its missions. But the cast from the original show still didn't like the movie one bit. Number 15. Original TV cast members actually hated the movie. In the original 60s show, Phelps was the trusted leader of the IMF team, but in the movie he's revealed to be the main villain. Some of the original cast couldn't take it. Peter Graves, the Phelps in the TV series, reportedly hated the twist. Martin Landau also spoke out, criticizing the script and saying it didn't do the show justice. Greg Morris, who played Barney Collier on the series, went the furthest, walking out of the theater when he realized Phelps had been turned into a villain. Still, audiences loved it, and part of that success came from the music. Number 16. The theme song remix became a global hit. The classic theme music is one of the most recognizable pieces of TV music ever created. It became mood music for every one of Hollywood's mischiefs. You can hear it right now, can't you? For the film, composer Danny Elfman remixed Lalo Schifrin's 60s version and made a global hit. Now, the movie score was a whole other story. Number 17, the score was composed shockingly fast. Alan Silvestri was originally hired to do the score, but his work was rejected. He was replaced by Danny Elfman. There are some rumors that Silvestri only completed 20 minutes of the score before Cruz fired him. Elfman was hired post-production and only had a few weeks to do the complete score for the movie. Maybe that's why the music feels so effortlessly cinematic. Even with the score perfectly timed, the movie still played a few sneaky tricks on the audience. Number 18, the kiss in the trailer doesn't exist in the movie. If you want the original trailer for Mission Impossible, you might notice a scene where Ethan Hunt and Claire share a kiss. Well, that moment isn't in the final film at all. The film actually has no kissing scenes, which is rare for Tom Cruise. Just like that fake kiss tricked fans, Apple got tricked in real life. Number 19, Apple's $15 million promotion backfired. Apple paid $15 million to feature the PowerBook 5300C in key scenes. The idea was simple: show the product on screen and inspire audiences to buy it. Unfortunately, Apple got involved too late, so some of the hacker scenes ended up showing a Windows laptop instead. Worse, the PowerBook 5300 was recalled around the movie's release after reports of battery fires, meaning viewers who wanted one often couldn't buy it. On top of that, Apple was already struggling with a $740 million quarterly loss. Things just kept getting worse. But this next fact is pretty cool though. Number 20, the train scene hides a real German phone number. During the train scene, there's a moment where a phone number appears on screen. Well, it is a real number from Hamburg, Germany. Some people claim they tried dialing it, but nobody knows if it actually ever went through. Would you try calling it? Anyway, the final secret, the biggest one of all, number 21, Mission Impossible changed Hollywood openings forever. When Mission Impossible was released in 1996, it broke new ground in Hollywood. The film became the first movie ever to open on more than 3,000 screens at the same time, 3,912 to be exact. It made $181 million in North America and $458 million worldwide. A new record was set, and just like that, a reboot of a 1960s spy show became one of the most influential action films ever made. Now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to tell me in the comments which stunt shocked you the most. Was it the CIA vault scene or the helicopter train stunt? And if you love classic action secrets, tap the video on screen to uncover the hidden details inside Die Hard, including the accident that created one of John McClane's most famous scenes. Oh, and tell me which movie I should investigate next, because the next mission is already being prepared. See you in the next one.